Hear about the retired chiropractor who killed an Elvis impersonator by chloroforming him during coitus. What a statement. Let's see. Retired chiropractor killed Elvis impersonator by chloroforming him more than once during sex. How is he accused of manslaughter? Wouldn't that be murder? After chloroforming him for the 9th time, he really didn't expect him to stop breathing. A retired chiropractor from upstate New York is facing manslaughter charges after he allegedly killed an Elvis Presley impersonator by chloroforming him during sex. Ronald Rayhare, 69, is accused of restraining and binding Thomas Kreider, 40, then administering a dangerous dose of chloroform more than one time during the sexual encounter, which led to his death on April 5th. 4 days after his death, he went to the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office and reported that his body was in the basement of his home. He was arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter and evidence tampering for removing Kreider's things from the crime scene. It is unclear where he got the chloroform. Investigators said the two had known each other for many years, and both the sexual encounter and chloroform use appeared consensual. But why would you want to be chloroformed during sex? Did you hear about Neon? He's not dead. How do people fall for that shit? It's just from like the most unreliable sources ever. Neon is not dead. He's still detained, as I understand it, but he's not fucking dead. You hear about the massive underwater object that radar's picked up? Yeah, we talked about it on stream. It turned out to be an error on their end. Not the underwater UFO production facility that a couple people on Twitter popped off when talking about. Yep, we talked about the Detroit sign. And the diss track. We did both. I love the Detroit sign. Thanks for the gift sub, Aiden. Are you excited for Rebel Moon Part 2 on Friday? I unironically am. I actually just saw a banger tweet about Rebel Moon, and it made me even more excited for Part 2, because it's very clear that Zack Snyder makes these movies knowing full well that they're just not going to be good. Zack Snyder says the R-rated cuts of Rebel Moon are purposely over the top with sex and violence. We actually photographed the actors saying different dialogue. You actually knew as we were filming, like, okay, that's for the R-rated. What an unbelievably inefficient way of making movies. Film 2 versions, both, well, one of them that you put out, unbelievably dog shit, and then just say, well, the good version's coming. The R-rated version we filmed is coming. Goober, just make a complete product that's good the first time around instead of, like, holding on to the better version. It's so dumb. So I have no doubt Part 2 is going to follow the same problem of just being unbelievably bad. And then it'll be like, yeah, well, that's because the good one's the R-rated version. Yeah, he's dropping actual fucking DLC for his garbage. Snyder really went 180 on the public's opinion. Yeah, I don't know, it just really, his fans don't do him any favors. They are vicious. For no reason. They're viciously defending tedious chores of, like, movies and TV shows. I think they do it just because they've been so long on his side that it's hard to let go. But man, Rebel Moon is an indefensibly boring film that hardly works together. Wouldn't it just be so he can get a PG rating and have a wider target audience? Stupid plan. That's a stupid plan, even if that is what he's going for. R-rated movies reach a very wide audience. Some of the highest grossing films of the last couple years are R-rated. Oppenheimer, Dune 2, I mean, those off the top of my head being the highest grossing by a large margin. Unless he's making comedies, it really doesn't matter. Deadpool 3 going to make a fuck ton even though it's R. Deadpool was like the first R-rated movie to go absolutely ballistic in the box office, yeah. What were the top grossing movies for 2023? I know Barbie, Oppenheimer, Super Mario, Guardians. Oh yeah, that was immediately the top 4. Fast X, Spider-Man, Wonka, Little Mermaid, Mission Impossible, Elemental, Ant-Man, John Wick. That was the top.